Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, or Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is Thamayim in Atlanta, and I wanted to talk on quote-unquote matrilineal lineage, and especially as it pertains to the 1948ers or the small hatters, those people that are in the land of Israel calling themselves the Lord's people. And wanted to talk about that because it's not actually biblical. It's really just a complete lie. And the reason they do that is because that's the only way they'd be able to actually trace themselves back to the nation of Israel. You go back to the time of the Herodians and their dynasty that they had. That was started, or the paterfamilias, or the progenitor of that house was Antipater the Idumean. And he married in to the Israelites, so he took Israelite wives and produced offspring that came out to be the Herodians. And they were the line that ruled over Israel at that point, or over the southern kingdom. And so these Herodians, their progenitor is Antipater the Idumean. He married, and so this is a so-called Caucasian man, and he married Israelite women, or what we would call today Negro women, and made little tear babies. Basically, they would have been light-skinned, and they ruled over the southern kingdom, even though they were not of the actual bloodline or the seed line, the nation. And it's from all the way back in this time where there were Edomite converts that came in, and the Herodians and all that. That's got to be, I haven't been able to really find it, but that's got to be why they do it matrilineally, even though it's all about the seed. And so let's just get into this article. This is from Cambridge.org, and this is only the extract of this article. You got to go through a paywall to get to it. But we have the idea of what it is, and we're just going to read the extract. So it says, according to rabbinic law from the secondary century to the present, the offspring of a Gentile mother and a Jewish father is a Gentile. And that is not true. It's really just the father that matters. And it could be a Gentile mother to an Israelite father, or a Gentile mother with an Israelite father. That child is going to come out as an Israelite. When there's a Gentile father, or outside of Israel, a non-Israelite with an Israelite woman, that's going to make mamzers or tares. And so they have it completely backwards. And this is just so that they could try to include themselves within the blessing, but they will not be included. They only have destruction coming because they have put the earth into such confusion. Okay, it says, while the offspring of a Jewish mother and a Gentile father is a J. And see, that's just not true. It says, albeit according to Mishnah, a mamzer, a J of impaired status. Each of these two rulings has its own history, as it shall show below, but it is convenient to group them together under the general heading of the matrilineal principle. Anthropologists and sociologists use the term matrilineal 2 describes societies in which kinship is determined through the females and not the males. Such societies once existed in ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia, and can still be found in parts of Africa, India, and Polynesia. Although rabbinic society and family law have not yet been studied in the light of modern anthropological and sociological theories, it seems clear that the kinship patterns which characterize matrilineal societies are thoroughly foreign to rabbinic society. And yeah, the scriptures are very paternal, it's very masculine, and nowhere within the scriptures does it speak of matrilineal lines. The women are really, they should be one of many wives. They don't play that big of a role, but the society has upped their status to where they can't even handle it, really. But going back to this, it says, with only a few exceptions, rabbinic family law is patrilineal, and that is true. The seed goes through the father and all the way down. You are what your father is, and that's what's going to decide whether you are an Israelite or whether you are a heathen. It's through your father. You are what your father is or was. And, the heathen don't like that. They want a way in, and so they come up with these false theories. It says status, kinship, and succession are determined through the father, and that is true. The family of the father is considered family. The family of the mother is not considered family. Bava Batra, which I'm guessing that's from the Talmud, 109b, says, why then did the rabbis adopt a matrilineal principle for the determination of the status of the offspring of mixed marriages? And it's just because they want to include themselves. That's the only way they can trace themselves back. And it's not going to work, Esau. You are Edomites. You're outside of the covenant, outside of the temple. You can't be forgiven. So, going into the scriptures, we're going to start with Isaiah 60 and verse 2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. That's going into the confusion that's around. Nobody knows what's what. And that matrilineal line theory, it's just BS. It's confusion, and it's confusing the people to where they think they can actually come in and make themselves at home under the covenant, but they cannot. It says, but the Lord Yahweh shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be set upon thee. And that's coming through the truth and casting down these lies through the truth, because it's absolutely gross darkness out here. There's people that would argue about a matrilineal lineage, but it makes no sense whatsoever. It's a heathen thing. And so, actually, let's go into the word husbandman. And this is where you get husband from. And it says head of a family, early 14th century. And then it says also as farmer, tiller of the soil. And that soil can be referenced to the woman. And the husbandman puts his seed into that soil, and that produces offspring. And we're going to go take a look at nope, that's not it. We're going to take a look at where it considers the woman the ground. Land polluted. Oh, it's Jeremiah 3 and 1, not Isaiah. Salakia. Jeremiah 3 and verse 1. They say, if a man put away his wife, and she go from him, and become another man's, so she's gone and committed adultery, shall he return unto her? Shall not that land, and this is the woman being referred to as the land, be greatly polluted because it's taking in foreign seed, a whole nother type of seed. And so she's polluted. And this is just one extra man. Look at these women out here now with their triple digit body counts. It says, but thou hast played the harlot with many lovers. And this is talking about Israel as a whole and going after foreign gods and not being under our one true power, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Says, yet return again to me, saith the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And so that's showing the man is the seed, the woman's referred to as the land, and that's actually biblical. And so we'll come here and finish it out here at Matthew 13, the parable of the wheat and the tares. And we'll start at 24. And it says, or another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which soweth good seed in his field. The field being the world, the earth. It says, but while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. And so a great example is going back to those Herodians, because I believe this is actually even going into that. But the Herodians did this, and those kings that came out of Antipater the Idumean, they were actually tares, calling themselves the kings of the Jews, while they had nothing to do with it. It says, but when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. And wheat and tares look very similar. It says, so the servant of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, dost not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then hath it tares? He said, where do these come from? And he said unto them, an enemy hath done this, that being the Edomites. First and foremost, self-proclaimed white people. It says, the servants said unto him, wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. And so that's why we're supposed to wait on the Lord to do the sorting through the angels. And it says, let both grow together until the harvest, that being judgment day, the end, the day of the Lord. And in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, that being the angels, gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, because they're all going to get burnt up because they're outside of the lineage, outside of the seed line, and pretending to be. But gather the wheat into my barn, the wheat being the Israelites, because Israel's the only nation that can be saved and can get salvation. And so, hopefully that, Lord willing, that cleared up some stuff between patrilineal and matrilineal lineages. The scriptures speak on patrilineal lineage. Here, just while we're here, you go into Matthew 1:1, or the whole first chapter, and it's going through Yahweh Shai's lineage. And as you see, it says Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Judah and his brethren. This is going through the men. That lineage is through the men. It's not showing it through women. And so what those small hatters have done is just brought a lot of confusion to try and stake their claim for the blessings, for the promises and the blessings, and to say that they're the people when they are really not. They're of the synagogue of Satan. And so, Lord willing, that was edifying. I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, or Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone, and shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.